I think I'm live. Hi, hello. I'm Brandon. Gloomhaven, buttons and bugs. This tiny little box. This is the actual box. It is like Gloomhaven for bugs. It's out. I'm live streaming now. I am going to learn the game. I've read the little half rule booklet. It's frustrating. This doesn't come with a full rule book. You have to do that online, which for a game that you could be playing on an airplane or camping or something, I think that's kind of shitty. But I'm going to play through the tutorial, which they partnered with that Dized app you may have used. I'm just going to do that on stream, and then I'm going to record a couple like proper videos once I get into the game proper. And I haven't decided if I'll keep the stream running for that or what. It's always kind of a trade-off because I don't necessarily think that like interacting with the chat makes the best YouTube video that feels like timeless in a way you kind of want a YouTube video too. So my understanding is that the tutorial, by the way, this looks like this. This is my phone. Yeah, phone for scale. Box smaller than a iPhone Pro Max. It's real tiny. My understanding is I will need to play the bruiser, but I guess let me just go into it. I'm just going to be playing the audio from my phone for the microphone to pick up. We'll see how that works. Hopefully it's not too bad. I'm feeling, I think I like the color on this fine, but I'm feeling a little bright, a little washed out. I'm gonna adjust the brightness here before we get going. Live production, folks. How about that? Yeah, it's better. Okay. Excuse me. I don't have a beverage. Do I want one? I'll be drinking alcohol for the like actual video. I need something. I'll be right back. You can just talk amongst yourselves. I'm back with off-brand vitamin water. Hydrate now, drink whiskey during the actual video. That's the strategy. All right. I should double check too that I'm streaming. I always like to pull up my own channel on the phone, make sure. Beautiful. Okay. Well then, excuse me. Let's get into this tutorial. We're just going to see what happens. Oh. Do you want to resume your... I did poke around. I did watch the first few screens of this, so I'm going to start a new tutorial session.
Let's play Gloomhaven buttons and bugs. Tap forward to start your adventure.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh no. You have been shrunk by magic.
Oh no.
To return to your former size, you'll need to navigate this strange new world by playing through a series of scenarios that will lead you through the miniature world you now find yourself in.
Okay.
You may find a few friends along the way, but you'll mostly meet a variety of enemies you will need to defeat in combat. Luckily, you are a
The acting on this is not great.
with powerful abilities.
The voice acting.
Let's show Gloomhaven that you have what it takes to be a hero.
That you have what it takes to be a hero.
Open the game box and take out all of the components.
Okay, no, I guess I haven't like punched tokens yet, so why don't I do that while this talks.
Find the scenario deck. Then flip the top card and read the story titled That Shrinking Feeling.
The scenario deck. Okay, that should be in this stack of full-size cards, it looks like. Once I get these tokens punched. All right. Scenario deck. Check. Okay. So, reference card, that's good. Yeah, and then I guess we go... Oh, okay. This first card kind of covers the scenarios, I see. It's the only one with this card back that says scenario deck. The rest actually are like double-sided cards. So if you really, really, really want to play blind, you can keep it here. I don't think that it's that important. I doubt that this game is going to have like a story that its twists and turns are all that fascinating. And Gloomhaven has never really been like, oh no, I saw what the map is going to look like, I've ruined it. It's not really that kind of game. So I think it'll be fine. Let's check this out. Read the story title, That Shrinking Feeling. Okay. What a time for Gloomhaven. First, a black tornado from the void nearly destroyed the city. Then there were reports of the very essence of corruption trying to end everything. But all's well that ends well. And at the center of both events, Hale, a mysterious Esther, Aesther, who lives in a derelict tavern, the Crooked Bone. It is said she can turn anyone into a hero, exactly what you want to be. Sure, you don't have a lot of training, but put in front of the right adventure, you'd get the acclaim that's due to you. So with that bold purpose, you step across the threshold of the Crooked Bone and... No, that's not right. Everything is growing. Why is the doorway so large? Why are you so small? Is this some sort of Easter enchantment? You've been shrunk. It says, play scenario, a rude welcome. And I guess I get this item? Either a bottle cap helm or a sparrow skull helm. During your attack, gain advantage, or during an enemy's attack, treat its plus attack as a 0 attack modifier. Well, I'll hold on to that. I'm not sure if I meant to start with that item right away. Let's see what this is.
Next, you would select your character, but for this tutorial, you must select the Bruiser. Other characters might be available in the future.
I guess I'll select the Bruiser.
Gather the character card and mini for your character.
Okay, I have the character card. And the mini looks like a guy with a sword over his shoulder. This is the size of these minis. It's pretty amazing. All right.
Return the other 5 character cards and minis to the box.
Okay, they're gone.
Flip your character card. Then gather the 4 level 1 ability cards listed on the back of your character card.
The Bruiser isn't afraid to take a hit because they know they can return the favor and then some. The Bruiser gets right up in the enemy's face to punch through their defense and push them around. Alright, so I'm looking for the blue cards with that Bruiser symbol. They don't appear to be in the first pack of cards I opened. Here we go, last place I looked. Alright. So I want the 4 level 1 ability cards. Check. We've got Shield Bash, Spare Dagger, Warding Strength, and Leaping Cleave. Alright.
Return the 4 level 2 cards for your character and all the ability cards for the other characters to the box.
Alright, they're gone too.
Also gather the player modifier tray. Place a white cube in the topmost
that's
slot of
this.
the modifier tray.
Yep, white cube there.
Retrieve the character hit point dial and set it to your max HP
That's
for
this
level
one
1.
with the
The
droplets.
Bruiser's max HP at level 1 is 12.
Okay, 12.
You now have all of the components for your character.
Sure, okay, yeah. Got him.
Next, we'll set up the first scenario. Find the next card from the scenario deck, Scenario 1, A Rude Welcome.
Got it.
Return the rest of the scenario deck to the box.
Okay, well it didn't say anything about that item, so I guess I will return it with the rest of the scenario deck.
Read the scenario entry up to and including the goal.
Scenario 1, A Rude Welcome. Got some fancy gear there. You whirl around, taking in your familiar yet unfamiliar surroundings. Your attention settles on a scruffy character behind you, luckily on par with your diminutive stature. Nice and shiny, like it's never been used. Hand it all over, and I'll let you live. Well, that simply won't do. Your gear is unused, but there really is only one solution for that. Alright, and it tells us, Monsters, Bandit Guard. Goal, defeat all monsters. Okay.
The scenario entry lists the monsters you'll encounter. Gather the listed Bandit Guard monster card.
It was on top of the monster stack, so got it.
Return the other monster cards to the box.
Yep.
Flip the scenario card to the map side and place it
Alright,
flat on
so
the
the
table.
map is right here. This is the entire map we'll be playing on. This one card. It's like shorter than my index finger. What a wild product this is.
Note the quantity and color of the monsters on the map, a green and blue Bandit Guard.
Green and blue bandit guard. Yep, I see. They are numbered and have little colored cube icons on them.
Gather the monster modifier tray and the green and blue monster hit point dials.
Monster
Place
modifier
the Bandit
tray.
Guard monster card in the tray's
Check.
card slot.
Let's get rid of that Gloomhaven box, free up some room. Okay, so we've got my modifier, monster modifier, monster tray with the Bandit Guard card in it. And we're gonna need hit point dials 1 and 2. Okay, and since they have 8 hit points, probably the tutorial will say this in a moment, but I'm guessing these dials get set to 8.
Place a white cube in the neutral slot of the monster tray,
Check.
marked with an O. Set each monster's starting hit points on their respective dials. These Bandit Guards each have 8 HP.
Check.
Place a green and blue cube on the map on their respective starting spaces.
Alright,
These
so
cubes represent the monsters on the map.
these are the monsters. We've got a green cube and a blue cube.
Place your character mini on the starting space.
My character mini right here. This is so small, and I'm a little bit of a like shaky-handed person. This is almost more than I like when it comes to like fine motor skills. Like I'm terrible at operation.
Gather the monster modifier and place a white cube in
Nope.
the tray's topmost slot.
Did that already. I have watched a playthrough of this video of this game, so I'm a little bit familiar.
You can change the difficulty by placing one of the monster modifier cards in the tray's card slot, but we recommend standard difficulty for now.
Standard sounds fine.
Return the unused monster modifier cards and all character modifier cards to the box.
Sure. Let's just get everything else that I'm not actively using out of this shot right now, I think. Nice clean view. Okay.
Gather all condition tokens, the die, and the icon reference card and keep them nearby.
I have the tokens nearby. The die is right here. And icon reference card is up here.
Scenario setup is complete.
Great, we did it.
Your playing area should look like this. Please note
Okay.
the areas around your character card. Before we start playing, there are some important concepts you'll need to understand.
Mm-hmm. So it wants me to have discard pile, active cards, lost pile. And I guess my hand is held in my hands. That makes sense.
Each card shows 2 possible actions, one on the top half and one on the bottom half. Select forward to continue. Each round you'll select 2 cards to determine your actions for your turn. You'll use the top action of one and the bottom action of the other.
Oh, so it's Gloomhaven.
Before you pick, you should know about the 2 most important abilities, move and attack.
Uh-huh.
The move ability allows you to move a number of hexes up to the ability's value. An attack ability allows you to target an adjacent enemy and deal damage based on the ability's value.
Sure, makes sense.
These 2 abilities, move and attack, are the most common and most important abilities you'll perform.
Shield Bash has both, an attack and a move.
In fact, they are so important that you can forego any top action to instead perform a basic attack too. Or forego a bottom action to perform a basic move too.
Right, so that's right there on the card, still straight out of Gloomhaven.
There are many other abilities in the game, but for the first round, just focus on moving and attacking.
Okay.
Choose 2 cards to play this round. You'll perform the top action of one and the bottom action of the other.
Okay, well, it looks like in order to get an attack in, I will want to move at least 2 spaces, probably to go for this green one, since it's the closest, and would have me kind of furthest from the other one. Let's see. So, I've got a... I'll have to use the shield bash for its movement. Probably, maybe I'll actually go up towards the blue one, because then the green one's going to have to go around. I know that green highlights face is an obstacle. And I will just take a leaping cleave. Why not? Okay, so we'll play these 2 cards. Oh, it wants me to tell the app what I've chosen. Okay, shield bash and leaping cleave.
Next, choose the initiative value of one of your cards. A lower initiative value acts sooner.
I don't see any reason not to go first. Well, I do see a reason. Because the bandits can't get to me now. Alright, I'm gonna go second. Or I'm gonna go later in the order with 54.
Now roll the die once to determine the initiative and action of the bandit guards.
Okay, here we go. Wow, alright, I'm gonna have to be careful rolling that die. Disaster struck the map. Alright, it is the circle, the neutral space. That's actually exactly what I was eyeing when I decided to go slower.
What was the result of the roll? Move the cube on the monster tray to the neutral slot.
Did that?
The bandit guards will act at initiative 50 and perform the shown action at that time.
Okay.
A lower initiative value goes before a higher value. Who will act first, you or the bandit guards?
The bandits will, because I'm going on 54, and their initiative is 50.
On their turn, each monster will perform the abilities listed for their rolled action, such as moving and attacking. Monsters of the same type act in numeric order. For example, the green bandit guard will act before the blue bandit guard.
Oh, okay. Their
Because
green is number
neutral
1,
was
blue is number
rolled,
2.
The
Okay.
bandit guards will perform move 1, attack 2.
This is kind of cool that it's like
First, the
a
green bandit guard will
dynamic
perform a
tutorial
move 1,
like
allowing
this.
it to move 1 hex toward you. The move ability allows you or a monster to move a number of hexes up to the ability's value.
Mm-hmm.
You can't move into a hex occupied by an enemy. However, monsters can move through each other's hexes.
That's like regular Gloomhaven?
Notice how some hexes have terrain indicated by an illustration and a colored border. Obstacles are designated by a green border. You and monsters cannot move into or through an obstacle hex.
Retinus in the chat asks, is the app compulsory? It is
Hazards
not,
have an orange border.
but
You can move
there is
into
not a
hazard
complete
hex,
rulebook in the
but
box.
doing so is
So
dangerous.
some form of looking things up online is
Whenever a
compulsory.
figure moves into a hazard hex, they suffer the effects of the hazard.
But this is a completely
The
optional...
neo hazards in this scenario
it's
deal
the
1
dice
damage each
tutorial
time a
app.
figure enters the hex.
Okay, so if they move in, they would take 1 damage.
Monsters will choose the shortest path that does not contain hazards. Move the green bandit now.
Okay, so it's moving 1 space. It'll move towards me, not through the hazard, which is going to have it move here. Easy peasy.
Next, the green bandit guard will attack, but only if it is adjacent to you.
No.
Has the green bandit guard moved adjacent to you?
I outsmarted it, so that's a big no.
The green bandit guard's turn is done. Next, the blue bandit guard will perform the same abilities. The bandit
Oops.
guard can attack
I skipped
only
ahead,
if it
but
is adjacent to
I
you.
think I've got it. The blue
Has
bandit
the
will
blue
move 1
bandit guard
space,
moved adjacent to you?
try to attack, but it's not adjacent.
After the blue bandit guard has finished performing its abilities, the monster turns are done.
Fantastic.
Now that the monster turns are done, it's your turn to perform actions. For your first turn, we'll just focus on moving and attacking. Start by choosing which card you will use to move.
I will use the shield bash, the 4 to move.
This card's bottom action lets you perform a move 4. Use your move ability to get adjacent to one of the bandit guards.
Let's get a bit adjacent to... Let's see. I can't quite move far enough to kind of get on the other side from the green one. So I'm just going to charge the blue one. Just like that.
After performing the entire action, flip the card to its B-side and return it to your hand.
Okay, so this flips over. This is new. This is different for Buttons and Bugs. Rather than being discarded straight off, this A card becomes a B card in my hand. And it's when you play the B card that they get discarded.
Next, you can perform your attack ability for the turn.
Okay.
The top action of Leaping Cleave is an attack 3 with an area of effect. Ignore the wind element for now.
Sure.
Normally an attack targets only a single enemy, but an attack with an area of effect can target multiple enemies. The red hexes in the area of effect indicate the number and position of the targeted hexes. A gray hex like this one indicates your position relative to the target hexes. You will roll a separate attack modifier for each target in the area of effect.
But there's only the one target.
Can you position the area of effect to target both bandit guards?
I cannot.
Since you're targeting only one enemy, the rest of the attack is resolved as normal. Anytime you attack, roll the die and apply the corresponding modifier from the chart on your modifier tray. Roll the die now to determine your attack modifier.
I'm going to do it down here where I'm less likely to hit the map. It was a minus.
With a minus roll, the attack modifier is -1. Meaning the attack will deal damage equal to its base attack value -1.
Yep, that's a shame.
With the modifier, the total attack value is 2. You started with a base value of 3 and subtracted 1 from the modifier.
Got it.
Your attack deals damage to the target equal to the total attack value minus the
So we're at
target's
2,
shield value.
but they have a shield.
Right now, the bandit guard have 1 permanent shield. In your case, with a base attack value of 3, -1 with the modifier roll, -1 for the shield, you deal the enemy 1 total damage. Track the damage by adjusting the target's hit point dial.
Okay, that's the blue one. These hit point dials are not different enough colors, by the way. Can you tell the difference between the blue and the green? It's pretty hard to distinguish in real life. And this is with like bright lighting. Okay, well, blue one's all the way down from 8 to 7. In the chat, you're asking, or you're saying the flipping of the card reminds you of Midnight. Yeah, it's one of those like Altoid tin games, I'm guessing. I've not played any of those, but I think that that's actually like kind of one of the cooler things that this game is doing, because it means that what you play first has determines what your options are the next turn. So I'm happy to hear that. I should check that game out, apparently.
After each attack, move the white cube down 1 slot in the modifier tray.
Got it.
After performing the entire action, flip the card to
And
its
this one will
B-side
also
and return
flip.
it to your hand.
Okay.
Having performed both your top and bottom actions, your turn is complete.
We did it. The first
After
turn.
you and all monsters have taken your turns, the round is over. There are some end of round effects to resolve.
I can't help but notice up here that it says
Reminder,
ad starting
if you
soon.
haven't flipped the cards
So
you played this round, flip them to their B-side now and return them to your hand.
Yep.
Elemental infusions can enhance your abilities. There are 6 elements: fire, ice, earth, wind, light, and dark. Some abilities and added effects require you to consume an element. For
Yes.
example, you can enhance Skewer by consuming wind.
Yep, I see that right here.
An element is available to be consumed if it is visible on a card in your hand or active area.
Yeah, this is the other really interesting thing, is like when you flip a card over, like when you have this even in your hand on A side, you have wind, but when it's on its B side, you
mark them
have
with a spare
earth.
token to help you remember. Choose 2 cards to play this round. You'll perform the top action of one and the bottom action of the other.
Okay. So I want to beat up on that bandit. I'm still safe from the green one. It can't. Yeah, an ad apparently. It says ad starting soon. I don't know when exactly or what it will look like, but I guess we'll find out together. Okay, so I want to pierce through their shield. I see that Spare Dagger has a symbol that I can see on the... Oh yeah, here it is. On the icon reference is Pierce X, so that would pierce 1. So that seems great. And then why don't I just use Warding Strength. That's another attack with a push. And it would strengthen self. Yeah, that seems fine. I'll do these two. So my other two A's, basically.
Choose the initiative value of one of your cards. A lower initiative value acts sooner.
I think I'm happy to just go first, so I will choose the 27.
Roll the die and move the cube on the bandit guard tray to the slot, showing the same result.
Okay. It's the neutral result again.
The bandit guards will act at the initiative of that column
So they're
and
going
perform
on
the
50.
shown action at that time. A lower initiative value
I'm
goes
going
if
first.
you can perform the top action of one card and the bottom action of the other. Select which action you'll perform first.
So I'm going to do the spare death. And the tutorial should help me. I'm actually not sure off the top of my head whether that push is mandatory. There's a push on Warding Strength. I can see it on the card and on the app here. So I'm going to do it second, just so that it doesn't ruin my dagger chink. So I'm going to start with the dagger.
The bottom action of Spare Dagger is an attack 2 with Pierce 1. You could instead forego the bottom action to perform a basic move 2. Do you want to perform the bottom action?
I want to perform it. I don't... When I saw these at first, I thought it was asking me, do I want to forego it? And I was about to hit the X, but this says, do you want to perform the bottom action? So I'm going to hit check mark.
You'll roll an attack modifier for every attack.
Okay.
Roll the die now and input the result.
Attack modifier is neutral.
Now using the second row on the modifier table, you've rolled a +0 modifier.
Yep, that's there.
The attack deals its base damage. Your attack deals damage to the target equal to the total attack value minus the target's shield value.
Mm-hmm. But
After each attack, move the cube down one slot in the modifier tray.
Got that. Did the app not catch that I was piercing here?
An attack with
Here we
Pierce
go.
reduces
Yep.
the target's shield bonus by an amount equal to the Pierce value. For example, Pierce 1 lets you reduce the target's shield bonus by 1, letting you deal 1 additional damage against a target with a shield bonus. After performing the entire action, flip the card to its B-side and return it to your hand.
Okay, so spare dagger was 2. It was modified by 0, so still 2. But we pierced the shield, so both are going to hit. So down to 5 for the blue. And that'll flip and go to my hand. And then Warding Strength.
Next,
Here we go.
you'll perform the top action of the other card you selected. The top action of Warding Strength includes an attack 3 with push 2 and strengthen self. Roll the die to determine the attack modifier.
Alright, so it's attacking for 3. Oh, but I got a minus here, which I believe that's a symbol for miss in Gloomhaven.
Now using the third row, add the rolled modifier to the base value of the attack to determine the total attack value.
Yep, this is bad.
If a minus was rolled, the modifier is a null. A null modifier reduces the total attack value to 0.
They just call it the null modifier, not just like a miss. Alright, well.
After each attack, move the cube down one slot in the modifier tray. The push ability allows you to move a target away from you a number of hexes equal to the push value. When push is an added effect of an attack, the push applies to the target of the attack after the attack is fully resolved. Each hex you move the target must increase the distance to the target by range.
Mm-hmm.
With proper planning, you can push a monster into a hazard hex, dealing them 1 additional damage.
I did not do that.
Strengthen is a positive condition which can be applied to a specified target. In this case, the target is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Indicate you have the condition by placing a strength token on your character card.
Boom. Strengthened.
While you have strengthen, you have advantage on your attacks. That means you roll twice and choose the better modifier.
I wish they had given you a second
Note
die
that
for
plus
this.
is a better result than neutral.
So you could just
which
roll,
is
like
better than
in
a minus.
D&D, when you have advantage, you just probably
Strengthen
roll 2
lasts
dice.
until the end of your next turn. Get the most out of it while you
Okay,
can.
end of my next turn.
After performing the entire action, flip the card to its B-side and
Got
return
it.
it to your hand.
After I finish the entire action. So I do want to push this, I guess, because why not? So I will just push the bandit guard there. Because then it's going to move one space and can't get back to me, which feels great.
Having performed both your top and bottom actions, your turn is complete.
Okay.
Now that you've taken your turn, it's time for the monsters to take theirs.
Mm-hmm.
On their turn, each monster will perform the abilities listed for their rolled action, such as moving and attacking. The green bandit acts first. If it is still alive, perform its move ability now.
Again, it's just moving one space.
Is the green bandit alive and able to attack
you? It can't attack you. The app's never going to get to teach me monster attacks. I'm too good.
After the green bandit has finished performing its abilities, it will be the blue bandit's turn. If it is still alive, the blue bandit
so it'll move one space back towards me.
Is the blue bandit alive
and
able to attack you?
Not able to attack me.
After all monsters have finished performing their abilities, the monster turns are done. After you and all monsters have taken your turns, the round is over. Reminder, the cards you use this turn are either discarded, if B-side, or flipped and returned to your hand, if A-side. Have you completed the goal by defeating all monsters?
Sure have not. Not even close.
Some actions are lost actions and are marked with the lost icon. The top action
like
of
overwhelming assault here. Yep.
is a lost action. After you perform a lost action, you place the card in your lost pile instead of flipping it or discarding it. Once a card has been lost, it can't be used again for the remainder of the scenario. Losing a card greatly reduces the time you have left before becoming exhausted. So think carefully before using lost actions. Choose 2 cards to play this round. You'll perform the top action of one and the bottom action of the other. Okay,
so I probably don't want to lose Overwhelming Assault here, but I like its 3 move and adding +1 to your attacks this round. And then Unstoppable Charge is a 4, so I'd be attacking for 5. With a positive modifier, that could be enough to take out the blue bandit. So I think I'm going to do that. Overwhelming Assault and Unstoppable Charge. Okay, so I'll tell the app. In the chat, are there any Kickstarter exclusives for this? I'm going to get it at retail. I don't think this is... I did Kickstart it. I don't think so. I don't think that there's anything in here is any different from retail. I don't recall anything in the campaign that said it, and nothing was packaged separately. It was literally just the shrink-wrapped box. So, yeah, no, I think you're going to be on exactly the same footing as everyone else getting it at retail. All right.
Choose the initiative value of one of your cards.
Ooh, these are slow.
A lower initiative value acts sooner.
Okay, well, I might as well choose the 61, so I go before them if they act on 70, because it is possible for me to take one of them out. So, I'll go 61.
Roll the die and move the cube on the bandit guard tray to the slot, showing the same result.
All right, they are going to take the plus. Oh, they took the slow one. Okay. Everything's coming at me so far.
The bandit guards will act at the initiative of that column and perform the shown action at that time. A lower initiative value goes before a higher value.
My 61 will go first.
You can perform the top action of one card and the bottom action of the other.
Okay, I don't want to lose Overwhelming Assault, so I'm definitely going to take the bottom of it.
The bottom action of Overwhelming Assault includes a move 3 and a round bonus.
3.
That gives +1 attack
I'll just
for the
move
rest
there,
of the round.
and I get +1 attack for the rest of the round.
Round
And then this card
bonuses
is
become
discarded.
active once performed and last until the end of the current round.
Oh, it'll go in the active
If you
section.
were attacked before you perform
Got
the
it.
ability with a round bonus, it will not affect that attack. After performing the entire action, place the card in your active area above your character card.
Yeah, Zedrex, this just fulfilled from Kickstarter. The Kickstarter that also included like the Gloomhaven 2nd edition. It had this Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, which is like a tiny solo only, literally very tiny, you can see, solo only version of it. I think it's pretty cool. I think this tutorial is a little slow. I'm spending more time on it than I expected, but you know, you don't have to follow the tutorial, especially if you know Gloomhaven already. I just thought it'd be interesting to check it out. Okay, so Overwhelming Assault is in my active area for the round, and I see the symbol there I was talking about.
Next, you'll perform the top action of the other card you selected.
Okay, so that's Unstoppable Charge.
The top action of Unstoppable Charge is an attack 4. Whenever you attack, roll the die to determine the attack modifier.
Are we doing this now?
Using the row marked by the cube,
Yeah, I guess so.
add the roll
Okay.
modifier
So,
to the base value of the attack
I'm looking for a plus
to
here.
determine the total attack value.
I got the neutral.
A null modifier reduces the total
So that's a
attack
0.
value to 0. As 2 times modifier doubles to total attack value. Remember to add +1 to the attack from the active round bonus.
Okay, so I was like waiting for it to stop talking. 4 damage from unstoppable charge, +1 from my overwhelming assault bonus is 5, but they are shielded for 1 permanently. So it's 4 damage. We'll put it at 1 hit point, which is sad. I was really hoping to finish it off.
The attack damage is reduced by the target's shield value.
Yep.
After
Oops,
performing
I
the
skipped
entire
that, but I think I'll be
action,
okay.
discard the card, placing it to the left of your character card.
Yes, discard it because it was a B.
Having performed both your top and bottom actions, your turn is complete. At the end of your turn, you discard your strengthened condition.
Oh, I was strengthened there. I did forget strengthened. Maybe that's what it was about to remind me. So I'm gonna roll again, and if I get a plus, then I'll get a +1 instead of a 0. I did. Hell yeah! So thanks to strengthen, that's a +1, which is the 1 additional hit point to take out the bandit guard. Oop. Dead.
Now that you've taken your turn, it's time for the monsters to take theirs.
Okay.
On their turn, each monster will perform the abilities listed for their rolled action.
They're gonna move
such as
2,
moving and
attack 2. So the green bandit guard will move
the
2.
green bandit acts first. If
Still
it is
can't
still
attack
alive,
me.
Perform its, after the green bandit has finished performing its
And the
ability,
blue bandit?
if it is still alive, the blue
I'm gonna
bandit
tell you
performs its move ability now.
That
After all monsters
can't
have
attack
finished
either.
performing their abilities, the monster turns are done. After you and all monsters have taken your turns, the round is over.
Mm-hmm.
Your round bonuses ends. Discard B-side cards. Flip A-side cards to their B-side and return them to your hand.
Yep.
Reminder, the cards you use this turn are either discarded, if B-side, or flipped and returned to your hand, if A-side. Have you completed the goal by defeating all monsters?
Only halfway there.
Choose 2 cards to play this round. You'll perform the top action of one and the bottom action
I'm guessing
of
it
the
will
other.
teach me about resting, so I should not consider like a rest to get these back or anything. So I will play my 2 remaining cards.
Choose the initiative value of one of your cards. A lower initiative value acts sooner.
In this case, I don't see any reason not to just go fast. I'll choose 18.
Roll the die and move the cube on the bandit guard tray to the
Okay.
slot showing the same result.
It's the minus this time. Okay.
The bandit guards will act at the initiative of that column and perform the shown action at that time. A lower initiative value goes before a higher value. Who will act first, you or the bandit guards?
So I'm acting first.
You can perform the top action of one card and the bottom action of the other.
This is the first one
Select
that's
which action you'll perform first.
kind of interesting. Which one am I going to do? Because I could shield myself for 1 and give myself 1 retaliate. That's the symbol that's like until you don't want it anymore. Or I could skewer, which it looks like I can attack from here with the kind of 2-space AoE. And then the bottom half of Eye for an Eye, it's not very useful. It heals self. So maybe I would just move or something. So, okay, I'll go ahead and just attack with Skewer, I think. Let's just move this towards a conclusion. So,
The top
Skewer.
action of Skewer is an attack 3 with an area of effect. You can also consume wind to add +1 attack and pierce 2.
I don't think I have wind.
You will roll a separate attack modifier for each target in the area of effect.
Okay.
Can you position the area of effect to target both bandit guards?
No, one of them is dead.
Since you're targeting only one enemy,
Okay.
the rest of the attack is resolved as normal.
It's a plus. That's the crit
Whenever
on
you
this row.
attack, roll the die to determine the attack modifier.
So that's going to double this to 6. That's huge. That's
Using
great.
the row
Oops,
marked
and I'm
by
not
the
strengthened
cube,
anymore. I should have
add the
gotten
roll
rid of that token.
modifier to the base value of the attack to determine the total attack value. A null modifier reduces the total attack value to 0. A 2 times modifier doubles to total attack value. The attack damage is reduced by the
Okay, so
target's
6
shield
minus their
value.
1 is 5. That takes this one
After
from 8
each
to
attack,
3.
move the cube down 1 slot in the modifier tray or back to the top if it was already at the bottom.
Cool.
After performing the entire action, discard the card, placing it to the left of your character card.
Yep. So,
Next, you'll perform the bottom action of the other card you selected.
heal self won't do anything. I assume I'm maxed.
The bottom action of Eye for an Eye is a heal 2 targeting yourself. You could instead forego the bottom action to perform a basic move 2.
So I think I will
Do you want to
forego
perform
it.
the bottom action? You will instead perform a basic move 2.
Mm-hmm. So I can keep avoiding taking any hits by stepping away from it now, huh? I think I will, because it's about to move 2 and attack for 1. 1, 2. Now it can't get to me. Yeah, and I can even send it this way, where if I line it up to push, I can push it into the hazard.
After performing the basic action, discard the card, placing it to the left of your character card.
All right.
Having performed both your top and bottom actions, your turn is complete. Now that you've taken your turn, it's time for the monsters to take theirs. On their turn, each monster will perform the abilities listed for their rolled action, such as moving and attacking.
Okay.
The green
Well, it's
bandit
the
acts first.
same
If it is still alive, perform its move ability now.
same
Is the
distance
green
either
bandit
way.
alive and able
So
to
I'll
attack
send
you?
it here too. And is it alive and able to attack me? No.
After the green bandit has finished performing its abilities, it will be the blue bandit's turn. If it is still alive, the blue bandit performs its move ability now.
Definitely not alive.
After all monsters have finished performing their abilities, the monster turns are done. After you and all monsters have taken your turns, the round is over. Reminder, the cards you use this turn are either discarded if B-side or flipped
So they're
and
all
returned to your
discarded.
hand if A-side. Have you completed the goal by defeating all monsters?
Not yet. 3 hit
You
points
don't have
left.
2 cards in hand to choose for this round, so you must rest to recover your cards.
Mm-hmm.
Resting allows you to return all but one of your discarded cards to your hand so that you can keep fighting. Note that only discarded cards are returned. Lost cards are left in the lost pile.
Sure. Okay. They're all in the
There are
discard
2
pile.
types of rest you can perform: a short rest, which is faster but more risky, or a long rest, which is slower. A short rest happens immediately, but you will lose 1 card at random and you won't heal.
Mm-hmm.
A long rest takes your entire turn for the round, but you choose which card to lose and you get to heal. Would you like to short rest or long rest?
As much as I would like to get this tutorial over with, I think long rest is the smart choice here, because I don't care if the bandit moves up to me. I even kind of want that so I can push it into the hazard. So I'm going to take a long rest.
You will perform a long rest this round instead of taking a normal turn. You will do so at initiative 99.
Yep.
Even while you're resting, the monsters will still take their turns as normal. Roll the die and move the cube on the
Okay.
bandit guard tray to the slot, showing the same result.
It's a plus.
The bandit guards will act at the initiative of that column and perform the shown action at that time. Since you're long resting at initiative 99, the monsters will act first.
Yep.
On their turn, each monster will perform the abilities listed for their rolled action, such as moving and attacking. The green bandit acts first. If it is still alive,
I can finally tell it yes. It's going to move to attack too, so it's going to move up to me.
Attack you?
And yes, it
The
can.
bandit guard performs an attack too. The attack will deal 2 damage modified by an attack modifier roll.
I don't know why it thinks it's on
Roll the die
neutral.
to determine the monster's
I
attack
definitely rolled a
modifier.
plus, but it's fine. Okay, so for the monster's attack modifier, It's a 0. So, plus 0.
What was the result of the roll? With a neutral roll, the attack modifier is +0, meaning the attack will deal damage equal to its base attack value. The bandit guard's total attack value
I was
2.
criticizing the voice acting on
A
this.
base
It's
attack
probably
of
just
2
an
and a
AI
+0
voice, huh?
modifier.
Probably just a computer.
So the attack deals 2 damage.
Okay, so it deals 2
Track
damage.
the damage by adjusting your character's hit point dial.
I lose my first 2 hit points. Ow. 10 left.
After each monster attack, move the white cube down 1 slot in the monster modifier tray.
Got it.
After the green bandit has finished performing its abilities, it will be the blue bandit's turn.
Well, we can
If it
fast
is
forward
still
through that.
alive,
Nope.
after all monsters have finished performing their abilities, the monster turns are done. Now that the monster
This ad,
turns
it still
are
says
done,
ad starting
it's
soon.
time to
It's never
perform
come
a long
along.
Rest. Return all cards from your discard pile to your hand.
Okay.
Then flip all cards in your hand to their A side.
Okay.
Next, you will lose 1 card of your choice from your hand.
Right.
Which card will you lose?
So, which was the one that had the like shield and healing on it? Or like the retaliate, eye for an eye. Retaliate and healing self, like I don't need those. What's on the front side? There's leaping cleave. Don't really need that either. It's the only one giving me elements, but am I using elements very much? Not particularly. Okay, I'm gonna lose leaping cleave.
Place that card in your lost pile to the right of your character card.
Yep.
Next, you'll perform a heal 2 targeting yourself.
Right. Back up to 12.
The heal ability allows you to recover hit points.
Okay.
Your current hit points can,
Got it.
in later scenarios, a long rest will also allow you to refresh your items. But don't worry about that for now. With your long rest complete, your turn is done. After you and all monsters have taken your turns, the round is over.
Okay.
Reminder, the cards you use this turn
I didn't
are
use
either
any.
discarded. Have you completed the goal? By
Not
defeating
quite,
all
but this is the
monsters?
round.
Choose 2 cards to play this round.
All right,
You'll
I'm
perform
going
the
for
top action
violence.
of one and the bottom action of the other.
I am going to play Warding Strength and Spare Dagger. I figure Warding Strength can either, if it needs to, push them into a hazard, or strengthen myself for the Spare Dagger attack to be the finishing blow. So, there we go.
Choose the initiative value of one of your cards.
I just want to go first.
A lower initiative value acts sooner.
So I'll go 27.
Roll the die and move the cube on the bandit guard tray to the slot showing the same result.
Okay. It's a 0. Neutral symbol.
The bandit guards will act at the initiative of that column and perform the shown action at that time.
Mm-hmm.
A lower initiative value
But I'm
goes before
going
a higher
first.
value. You can perform the top action.
Okay,
of
let's
one
start with
card,
Warding
and
Strength.
The top action of Warding Strength includes an attack 3 with push. Whenever you attack, roll the
Okay,
die
it's gonna
to
say all this
determine
again. I'm
the attack
gonna
modifier.
roll the die. It's a plus. That's a +1. I think
Using
we
the
are
row
just
marked by
doing
the
it.
cube, add the rolled modifier to the base value of
Because
the attack to
Warding
determine the
Strength,
total
now
attack
that's
value.
4, minus their 1 shield is 3.
A null modifier
The
reduces
bandit's
the total
gone.
attack value to 0. As 2 times, modifier doubles to total attack value.
Boom. Alright, let's fast
After
forward a
each
little
attack,
bit.
After performing the next, you'll the bottom action.
Yep,
You could
yep.
instead forego
I
the
don't
bottom
really
action.
care.
Whenever you attack using the row, a null modifier.
Okay,
will be
when's it gonna
attacked
ask me
after
if the
each
quest is
attack.
complete?
Having performed both, now that you've taken
Monster
your turn,
turn.
on their turn, the green
No,
bandit
the green bandit
if
can't
it is still
attack.
alive
No, the blue
after
one
all-
can't
after you
attack.
and all monsters have taken your
The round is
turns.
over.
The round is over. Reminder: the cards
Yep.
have you completed the goal by defeating all monsters?
Have completed the goal.
You completed the goal. That means you've beaten this scenario.
Woo! Beat the tutorial.
You recover all of your discarded and lost cards, reset your hit point dial to your max HP, and remove all conditions. Next, flip the scenario card and read the conclusion that
And
follows
read
the
the
goal.
conclusion. Yeah, thank
Do
you,
so
AI
now.
voice. Well, your gear certainly isn't shiny anymore. And it wasn't even particularly fancy to begin with. Come to think of it. Or to begin with, come to think of it. Got the job done at least, but your situation is quite dire. You'll need to survive long enough to find out how to restore yourself to original size. But for now, you'll need to deal with the vermling that just appeared. Read the collector. But I'm going to see what the app wants me to do next.
The conclusion will guide you on to the next part of the story.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it instructs you to read the collector.
Yep.
Take the next card in the scenario deck, the collector, and read it in its entirety.
Okay, I'm probably going to do this again. Oops, here's the collector. I'm probably going to do this again when I start a proper campaign in a moment, so I'm not going to read this all. Let's see what else the app says to do.
It seems the collector will allow you to borrow some of their items to help you on your adventure. Notice how the 3 scenario cards you've seen so far each have 2 items listed on them. These are the items available for Scenario 2. As you progress in the campaign, additional items will become available, 2 or more after each scenario.
Wow.
There are 2 types of items in the game, hand items and pouch items. This is represented by the icon on the left.
Okay, I see.
For the first few scenarios, you can equip 2 hands worth of items and a single pouch item. However, you can't equip both items from the same card.
That is logical.
When you use an item with the spent icon, rotate the card. Spent items
That's a little
can't be
awkward.
used again until after you long
Rotate
rest.
the card that was tucked under.
The collector card also instructs you to play Scenario 2, Crossing the Road, next. This tutorial won't be guiding you through that scenario, but setup follows the same steps you used for Scenario 1. Each scenario indicates a level. This determines what level your character is during this part of the story. Note that a scenario's level is not the same as its scenario number. Levels go from 1 to 5. Your character level affects 4 things: max HP, modifier table, ability card upgrades, and number of pouch items. Your max hit points for each level is listed on your character card. This is how much HP you have at the start of a scenario. At level 2 and up, you use the corresponding modifier card for your character and level.
Yeah, there's...
Place the card into your modifier tray.
Here we go. So like as the
For
brawler...
each level beyond the first,
The brawler?
you can upgrade
The bruiser
one of your ability cards
levels
to
up.
its corresponding level.
The modifiers do get more interesting, which is cool.
For example, you could upgrade Spare Dagger to Hook and Chain, increasing its damage and added Pull 2 to its ranged attack. The back of your character card lists your ability cards and their respective level 2 upgrades. You can also equip a number of pouch items equal to half your level, rounded up, so at level 3 you will be able to equip 2 pouch items. This tutorial is now over. Thank you for playing Gloomhaven, Buttons and Bugs with Dized.
Alright. That's it. What's going to happen when this little progress bar reaches its end? It's almost there. Is the ad finally going to play? I have to know. Nothing. The progress bar is just full. Okay, we've done it.
You can also
Nope, I don't want to go back. Oh no.
Character card. The back of your character.
How do I get out? Exit. No need to save. Okay. And rate the app. Alright, no, not now. Thank you, Dized. That was kind of interesting. I've heard of this Dized app and seen like Kickstarter campaigns talk about it. We're partnering with Dized to have a tutorial. First time I've ever used one. It was fine. Oh, look, there's a lot of games on here. Cthulhu, Death May Die, Dwarf Romantic, Tiny Epic Western. Like, they've got big games. I mean, I guess other than being a small game, Gloomhaven, Buttons and Bugs is a big game. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. All right, I'm glad that I tried that out. It was a little slow in the second half of the scenario as the tutorial kept wanting to talk through everything. But other than that, I thought it was nice to have that option. Okay, I think so I'm going to start a new campaign and I'm going to redo scenario 1 on video. I'm kind of thinking I'm going to play the Vermling for the campaign itself, or sorry, the Mind Thief. Because, you know, the basis of that is entirely, there are 3 low complexity, 2 high complexity, and a single medium complexity character. And I felt like medium complexity was where I wanted to be at. I've played Gloomhaven. I can handle a little bit heavier character, but I don't really want to like make a video of myself playing this game and play on the hardest one and completely crash and burn either. So, medium feels good. I think I'll play Mind Thief, and I think I'm going to call that a live stream, and I'm just going to record that, and it'll be up on the channel soon. So if you're watching this live, appreciate you. Thank you for watching. If you would hit the like button, I will leave this up so that if people want to see the tutorial in action without having to do it themselves, they're welcome to. So if you hit the like button, that helps out a lot. So does subscribing to the channel. We don't have a Patreon or anything, so that is the only way to help Optimal Play grow, and we really appreciate it. And then keep an eye on the channel and my proper playthrough. I figure I'll do videos of at least the first few scenarios and then kind of evaluate, am I having fun with the game? Are the videos fun? That kind of thing. Maybe I'll do 20. I don't. So there's 20 scenarios in the box, but my understanding is you won't play them all, because I did glance far enough ahead to see some branching paths depending on what class you're playing. So I don't get the impression you were going to be choosing a lot. It's not like Gloomhaven. It's all like sort of an open world, but in the sense that you have 4 choices for your next mission. I don't even think it's going to be that flexible. I think it's just you play them, but I bet it's probably about 15 scenarios. So I don't know. We'll see if it becomes a whole video series. I wouldn't bet on it, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to call that a live stream. It always awkwardly ends because YouTube wants to cut off, like I hit the button, but then it cuts off 10 seconds before that. So I'm going to sit, if you see me sitting here awkwardly looking at the camera and counting to 10, that's why. Bye.